Great news, of course, for Melrose in terms of that record can't be broken now because Watsonians only scored 3 today. So that was the first target, but you can still actually catch them.
Yeah, exactly. That's great for us. So I mean, you know, it was a bit of emotion in that game, especially after losing the final as well and protecting our own record. You know, like I think maybe 3 of the boys here played in that team, but we still, like, it's a whole club thing, so that's protecting our club's record and stuff. So it's, you know, it's great. And, you know about the final at Melrose as well. So it's about, you know, just getting a wee bit of payback for stuff like that. You know, you don't want to say it like that because it sounds a bit, you know, angry, but it's extra motivation.
Let's be fair, the guys were gutted in the Melrose Sevens final.
Exactly, and Watsonians played really well, and they played really well today again and made it hard. I mean, really close, and they battled really hard right up until the end. You know you're going to get that with Watsonians.
Earlston tomorrow, you in the side?
Yeah, I think it'll be mostly the same side, but legs will be feeling a bit heavy tomorrow morning. Get back up to Edinburgh, get my legs up, and then wake up tomorrow morning and see how the body's feeling.
Well, I think Melrose had a pretty good run, 6 or 7 wins on the trot before, I think the last couple of games. Gala won it last year, I think, so you'll be wanting that trophy back.
Oh, hopefully, yeah. I mean, doing the double header this weekend would be massive for us, especially with, like, you know, you're saying we can reel in Watsonians if we do well next tomorrow.
Round 8 was the Earlston Sevens at the Hoch. Melrose again made the final at the expense of Edinburgh Accies in the semi, while Watsonians' win over Jed Forest put them into yet another final. It was a tight affair, both teams scoring 2 tries each, but crucially, of the 4 touchdowns, only 1 was converted. It was a tricky one as well from Craig Jackson, which made the difference and gave Melrose the trophy and reduced the gap between them and Watsonians at the top to just 9 points.
Watsonians are a great 7, let's be honest, and they've not won 4 or 5 in a row for no reason, and we knew coming into this weekend it'd be a tough ask, but we just thought shackles off, our 15s is over, we'll give it a crack, and fair play to the young boys that have stepped in. Gav Wood was outstanding, Lucas Reid, a young under 18, played at Jed Thistle yesterday, he came into the squad for Paddy Anderson. You can't fault these boys, they come in and they add to the squad more than anything else. Other squads might worry about bringing these boys in, it's just class to be involved in Melrose that can just bring youngsters into that squad.
And obviously you've touched on the young players there, but defensively you kind of based your, certainly in the latter rounds, was your good attacking play was based off your hard working defence, and certainly the young players coming in, they buy into that as well. So as a structure, how do you target your 7s as a whole?
Yeah, so it's the same as 15, 7s is the same, so defence is massive in everything, and it comes from work rate. You don't have to be the most skillful person to be able to make a tackle or stay in that line and make a shot, so that's what we base it on. And if you get turnovers, it's the best way to attack, isn't it? So if you get a turnover, you just run the length and it can be a killer. You know, it's like defending for 4 minutes. It was like Accies, we defend for 4 minutes, they go the length and score it, so kicking them nuts, but it's the way it is. So it's just work rate, and that's what we can ask the boys, and can't fault any 1 to 10 today and yesterday for that effort they gave us.
So obviously before the weekend you were thinking 19 points behind Watsonians and Kings of the Sevens, and now it's just down to 9. So do you think these are capable of overthrowing that early lead that they've made?
We can't look too far ahead, you know, we've just come in, we wanted to enjoy ourselves, play a bit of 7s, it's great to be part of the border circuit, I've grown up part of it and it's amazing to be there. That's why myself and Bruce Colvin, we've done it from such a young age, and we still push the younger boys to want to be involved in that. So if we can push Watsons, we'll give it a go, but it's not the be all and end all, I don't think, so we'll just keep chipping away one at a time and see what we've got.
Dale Clancy talking to Craig Jackson. Now, Dale's been a pundit and summariser for Radio Borders this season, and I suggested to him that Melrose's win at Earlston has certainly made things very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think going into this weekend, it was probably one of the biggest weekends of the Kings of the Sevens, and I said it when we were covering the games. The Jed Watsonians game was going to be a kind of instrumental in terms of where the Kings of the Sevens is going to head this year. Watsonians put in a great performance in the semi, beating Jed, obviously tired after their playoff, but it just makes it interesting. And I think maybe before this weekend, I think people were a bit disengaged with the league as a whole, because Watsonians have been the standout team. But now that Melrose have got their full squad, and Jed are going to have their full squad, Selkirk are going to have their players back from obviously their other activities this weekend, it makes it really, really interesting, because now it gets a little bit more cutthroat, so teams can really do other teams favours and a disservice as well. So it's going to be interesting going into Selkirk.
The draw for Selkirk is going to be vital now.
Yeah, I think, my opinion on the draws is they're all very interesting to look at anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the draw. I think from a Melrose point of view, I think they'll want to try and meet Watsonians quite early in the tie, and Bruce Colvin was just saying that to me there. He says they want them early. They're hungry to try and overthrow that lead, and Craig Jackson spoke about they'll take it one game at a time, but they want to try and play Watsonians quite early so that they can try and give themselves the best opportunity going into Jed, that they can overturn that huge lead that Watsonians did have.
Because if they're in both halves of the draw, obviously they could meet in the final, and that's not going to be good enough.
No, that won't be good enough, and I think Melrose know that. They know what position they've got themselves into. They've won the Premiership, they've won the BT Cup as well, and now they're going to try and give themselves the best opportunity to win that, the Kings of the Sevens as well, which would be a great season if they were able to do that. But, we talk about Melrose, we talk about Watsonians. Selkirk are a team at their own sevens that are very, very dangerous. Jed are a team that when they're on form, they're one of the best teams in the Kings of the Sevens. And, Kelso as well, they can string together some good ties. But, again, it just comes down to the draw. So it'll be interesting to see when the draw comes out for Selkirk where all these teams are and what kind of route to the final that they've got.